All right. I thought I would just try to do this live, the wrap up video, and then I'll resave it. But so today's wrap up would really have to do with this most important level, as we talked about when we streamed live this morning. Looking for longs above, shorts below, and you could short that level. And but I wouldn't have shorted it here. Why? Because I was long from this battle trend plan trade here, and I captured half the move. Now I'm looking at this possible trade setting up here. So I just thought we'd go live here and look at this. I believe I had this thing coming down near the Sunday opening and then getting back up. So we're just watching this little end of the day vomit here, which is great. I'm starting to look up for laddering up from here to the Sunday opening, and if it keeps going down, we'll simply wait for the next trade. Ain't no thing. Ain't no thing. Let's see what it wants to do. All right. So we're certainly coming into where the Sunday opening is. And from last night's battle plan, this was a possible trade. And so did we reach it here? Basically. So we'll drop in time frames. Then I'm much more interested in even a long down here. So let's go ahead and drop in time frames. Let's go to a 30-second chart here for a second. Yeah. All right. So looking for evidence of laddering up. Will that happen? I have no clue, but we can certainly see. Go to a 30-second chart here. Like I said, this was last night's battle plan long. Here, we're going to see if this thing sets up. Drop to a 15-second time frame here. We'll see if this thing wants to come here and have a move back up as a potential first ladder. I thought this would be a better wrap up video just to go live real quick because we're getting into an area here for our second battle plan long. First one worked out. I only did it with one contract. Whoops. Go back up here. Um, yeah, this move here. This move here, I was long here and took half the move. And now we're in a new possible area of a new battle plan. Okay, this is where it should bounce. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We'll simply wait for the next trade. You never know. Sometimes it makes a new low and then does it again. You know how that works. So we're watching here. Are there any bulls in the room? Any bulls in the room? Any bulls in the room? Are they going to defend here? or we're going to fall down and get a new trade. Let's find out. Let's watch. Let's watch. Are y'all going to respond or no respond? This is where you need to go. Just to revisit, this is what we were looking for as one of the last night's battle plan longs. For it to come here, this is where we would be interested in gauging in price. First ladders are the most dangerous. You kind of want to wait for another ladder, see what happens. Certainly not responding with the vengeance that I like to call it. So maybe we'll make a new low and then we'll reassess. And in fact, my next play that I was interested in was down here. This was in green, the trade I kind of most wanted, and then the lotto one down here at the bull bear line. So we didn't get that aggressive move back up that I'm typically looking for, the signature I'm looking for. Let's come further down. Come on. Slide this over a little bit. Noticing all of that was not captured there. So let's just back it back up for a second. This is an area that I would be looking to see if we can get a reaction and a move like we did here on this move. Could it keep vomiting? Of course. I want it to keep vomiting, in all honesty. I really don't want it to turn around right there. This is just an area I'm looking to respond to price. And at some point, I've got to work on tonight's battle plan. But right now, last night's battle plan is going to roll into today. I wouldn't draw anything differently. I don't believe. This is where I'm interested in engaging in price. Okay, so we finally actually made it to the bottom of my drawing. Let's see what happens here. I drew it down to 73.25 is where I drew it down to. Okay, now let's come back into here. It made it down to 73.25. Okay. Let's see now if we get a reaction. And if you don't, there's no trade. It's real simple. Under the 11.25 level here, I told the group, careful with limit order longs. Just be careful. And that's why I was waiting for my ladder back. In fact, I told one of my traders, until we have another vomit move, I'm not trading at all. And we finally got the battle plan trade. All right. So let's see if that thing is going to respond off of our level there that we drew, that we were looking to trade. Now, you could have taken that as a limit order if you wanted, but that's nothing I was going to do. Because sometimes on these vomit moves, you don't know exactly what's going to happen, you know? So first ladder needs to exist off of this area here. And the opening tonight should be real interesting. See if we get a first ladder here. Okay. Can it come here and create this? Which would be something like this. Let's see what happens. Preferably, you'd actually prefer to keep that fair value gap open there, get back up and give this entry. So let's see if our mapped out long that we wanted to take works out. You don't have to be the first one long off of it. Simply came to an area that we're looking to see to engage in price. And of course, you know me, my ultimate goal is for us to come down here to the 62.34, but I've got to play the opportunities as they are presented. So this would be the first ladder here. Let's see if it ladders or not. Second ladders are always the most dangerous in which to think about entering a trade. Second ladders give you a bit of a confirmation of a move. Let's see if it wants to bounce here or we're going to continue our journey south. The bulls need to prove that they're going to do something here. The bulls hadn't proved a whole lot today. We lost that 1125 level, which was our key level today. And of course, when you look at the RTH, it didn't bounce. So no defense, no trade. When the bulls don't defend, there's no sense in doing it. All right, let's see if this thing wants to go further down. So when you map out a trade, the trade's not over. It could make another little low and then reverse and give it to us. This is just an area where we are looking to engage in price. If it performs a laddering sequence, we can get in on it. If it doesn't, you don't. So they'd had the first opportunity to show us they're going to defend to look for the second entry. Did not happen. So we're on a low time frame here. Looking for entries where the higher time frame we mapped out the trades. Doesn't mean it's over. It doesn't, but it starts over. It's like, all right, make a new low. Cool. Now let's see what happens. We'll go back to a 30-second chart just to be able to watch the micro gyrations here. Next level of interest for me is down here at the 65. Then, of course, the 60, which was our mapped out long from not last night, the night before. Let's see if we're going to rotate back down there. I'm in no hurry. I can wait. It was just some exciting price action, so I thought we'd go live. See what happens. This line is nothing more than the bottom of this mapped out trade here. I wanted to see exactly where that was on the map out. So if we get back above it, I'm going to be looking for longs. Once again, giving the bulls the benefit of the doubt in the sense of looking for longs here, but price needs to defend in a laddering sequence. I have no clue if that'll happen. Nothing to do but wait. And then, of course, the market's going to close before too long. So I would certainly wait for the next opening. Had we defended here and gave a ladder, I would have done a long because you never know. Sometimes those things can run enough to where you could say, all right, I'm going to hold it through the break. I need to put Friday's low. Let's lock that bad boy down. And I want to go ahead and remove the line. Don't need it. But we do have today's low, Monday's low, Friday's low, all here together. All right, let's see what this thing wants to do. Once again, this would be the line of defense that the bulls need to defend. So something here, here, and then go. And they may not even pull back to here, so this might be the only entry. Ideally, if it came to here, you'd like to see it actually not totally come back and fill that gap. That you'd want to see a reaction there, come into it a little bit, but then rebound up. So let's see what's going to happen. All right, well, bulls are not going to defend again, looks like. Can you do it, bulls? So far, you can't do it. Can't do it at all. As we said, first ladders are the most dangerous. Second ladders at least gives you some confirmation, right? But this is the area that we were looking for our long. So drop in time frames and see if we get an entry that works for that. Now let's see if this thing wants to go. Ideally now this thing needs to push somewhere to about here. See if they can get a push on. They are not responding with a vengeance. It's typically what I like to see. Not typically. It's what I like to see. Well, I can't wait till the opening in an hour and 20 minutes. So let's just go back. That's the This is the sequencing we were looking for in last night's battle plan. This was the first long I wanted. When we were flirting here, we were literally a couple points away from being able to be long, and boy, how nice would have that been. So I didn't get this trade until here, and I was long there and captured half. Now we're back down to here. We're going to see how this move works. If it doesn't, the green here is what is the trade I most want. So when we opened up into here, this was the trade I really wanted. That's where I most wanted to engage in price. But at each of these steps on the way, I'm going to try to trade. I'm going to try and trade it. So let's drop back down in time frames here. All right. I'll call this the first bounce if we can make it up to here. Then the second bounce would be the entry. But this is my target next. I want it to get here. But, you know, we're too close to the closing. So I'm probably not taking a single trade, but it was worth watching. There was plenty of time for it to happen when I went live, but it's not happening yet. And then I would want to be up at least 10 points for me to hold it over into past the maintenance period. And that's just that's not going to happen. So once again, this white line is just my reference or where I wanted to start looking to engage with price. And they're trying, they just can't get it done. No one's that enthusiastic to be buying here, I guess, going into the close. So I don't think the battle plan is going to change a whole lot. Now I would definitely prefer this and then the one illustrated further down. Go to a 30-second chart just to see the micro movements, because I don't mind trading and getting an entry on the 30-second chart when my macro mapped out trade is in play. Well, we'll watch a little bit longer here, and then I'll call it the wrap-up show. We'll wrap it up. because then I need to sit down and look at the chart again and come up with our battle plan trades for tonight. Hmm. Nothing, nothing, nothing. So let's do this. I'm going to turn off last night's battle plan. Let's turn this off. I need this. Sorry, I'm moving things around in my folders. Don't need you. Don't need you. Let's go to a 30-minute chart because that's really important here. So one of the things that we talked about this weekend, I did a video about big vomit days. We talked about one, two, three 30-minute candles before there's typically a move. Not quite one, two, three in a row, but basically three candles in a row. Would love to see it come down further down to engage in price. Um, Let me turn on my Monday battle plan trades there. This would still be of interest if it gave it to me. I'd have to take it. Um, Let me pull up the range. There we go. There's the ranges. We are down in this green area where it's better to start looking for longs than shorts. But of course, the ideal trade would be to allow it to come all the way down to the bottom, take out this low, and then we'll see what happens. If it wants to keep going further down, cool. We'll look at the bull bear line here. Well, this feels like it's coming to an end, right? The momentum, the tempo, the cadence of the price action, all of that is dying out, which makes sense. We're almost done. So those are the macro things I'm kind of looking at. I'm going to look at it with a fresh set of eyes, get some new iced tea, look at the chart, and think about where we want to engage in price. Um, Beautiful bounce here, but no way I'm taking that trade because I was long here and continually trading that, seeing if we could pop this and get another entry is what we were looking for. And in fact, if you look at last night's battle plan trade, that's what this calls for. So I was long with this and looking for this, but price had a different thing in mind. And why? Because we already took the all time high last night. That sucks. One of the things I told the group about these battle plan trades now, they're less, I'm not going to say less valid, um, but we lost the target of the all time high up here. It's nice to have that big target up there when you're wanting to trade, right? Um, we still got a target up here, but it's so fresh. It's not, you know, when that high is up there for a week or two and um, you're chopping for days, boy, that just becomes such a beautiful magnet. And unfortunately, it took it in the overnight session. So now we're most likely going to rotate back down. The other thing I told the group, I said, because we took the all time high, we're rotating back down and we've already explored the bottom of the range. I would expect us to come here. So, although I'm not eager to go long here. I'm not. I'm more eager to go long here. And then I'm really eager to see what happens here. Let's say we would have opened last night and just had a big move down. Well, that means this trade didn't work. Who cares? There was no entry. Then I would have looked for this trade here. Is this trade going to work out? Geez, I was looking for a circle. I don't know why I can't get a circle. Is this trade going to? It's still not a circle. Shoot me. Here we go. Would this trade work? If we'd have just vomited straight down, then what do? We look to see if this trade's going to work. In hindsight, that looks like a beautiful short, and it is. Um, but I was long there, so whatever. I did I did the right trade to my plan. That's what I was planning for, and that's what I waited for. We're gonna make a new low. So the bulls just couldn't really defend here. They tried once. I would say we had one ladder, but we could not generate a second ladder, so therefore I have no interest. When we had this move up here, we came back in. I considered this the first ladder, really. And then we needed to make that new high like we talked about. Oh, well, nothing there. All right, guys, I think that's going to be it for me. I will see you tomorrow in the AM briefing and publish the battle plan here in a little while.